All right, so you guys really threw us a curveball with this one.
Yeah.
A world without love.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one to kind of wrap our heads around.
Yeah.
But we're going to dive in.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do our best. I've got a stack of research here.
Oh, yeah.
Articles, philosophical texts, even a proposed podcast outline from somebody who's clearly thought about this a lot.
Wow. Dedicated.
Very dedicated. And the first thing that jumps out, and this is across the board, almost every single source talks about defining love.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not just romantic love, right?
Right.
It's familial love.
Yeah.
Love between friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Even like love for humanity.
A sense of belonging, almost.
That's it. Belonging.
Yeah.
That seems to be the core.
Like a fundamental human need.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then you get into the psychology of it all, and the research is really clear. That sense of belonging, crucial for well-being.
Yeah.
We're not talking about just feeling good, though. That's part of it.
Sure.
But like measurable impact. Loneliness.
Yeah.
Out the window when you've got those strong connections.
Makes sense. Loneliness is like a health risk, right?
Huge one.
Yeah.
Some studies compare it to like smoking.
Seriously.
Yeah, heart disease, depression, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're picturing a world with no love, are we basically setting everyone up for like a health crisis?
It's not looking good so far. No support systems, increased isolation. I mean, how would people even cope?
Right. Like we'd need totally different ways of dealing with stress, with loss.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how society would even function.
Yeah, it's quite.
Because a lot of these sources talk about love as the driver for things like compassion, empathy, even altruism.
Yeah.
The stuff that makes people want to help each other work together. Take that away and what's left?
It's like, would we even have the building blocks for a society? Would it even be possible?
Exactly. And some of the philosophers in here, they get pretty deep into that. They argue that without love as we know it, we'd need entirely different values to hold everything together.
Different values? Like what?
Well, one source used the word transactional. Like every interaction is about what you get out of it. No shared purpose, no real care for the other person.
Wow. It's kind of bleak and a little scary, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that lack of empathy wouldn't just change our social structures, but I mean, think about art, music, literature.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
All driven by this need to connect, to share emotions. Would we even create those things without love?
Would they even have the same power, Like, would they move us in the same way?
Yeah. I mean, one of the sources, I think it was a poetry collection, had this line, "Love is the thread that weaves the tapestry of human existence."
Okay, that's a little dramatic, but I get the point.
Yeah, a bit much, but it really highlights how ingrained love is in our culture.
And without that, our stories, our music, everything would be so different, maybe even empty.
Potentially. It really makes you think. And, in the middle of all this heavy societal stuff, there's this one anecdote in the research that just hit me hard. This person talking about how a random act of kindness from a complete stranger literally changed their life. Just a moment of pure, selfless love.
See? That's what I'm talking about, that human connection. Powerful stuff.
It really is. And it makes you think, like, we all have those moments, right? Where love, in whatever form, has touched our lives, shaped us in some way. Take that away, and who would we even be?
Right, yeah. Imagine your life without those moments. It's almost impossible.
So where does this deep dive leave us? Honestly, I gotta say, a world without love. It's pretty bleak.
Definitely not a world I'd want to live in.
But by exploring it, it really underscores how essential love is to our individual lives, to society, to everything.
Absolutely. But it's like we focus on all the bad. What about the flip side?
Oh, interesting. What do you mean?
Right. Could there be unexpected positives? Maybe new forms of connection we haven't even considered. Different ways of finding meaning and purpose. It's something to ponder, right? As you go about your day, just think about that. What would a world without love really look like? The good, the bad, the completely unexpected.
A lot to chew on there. Great stuff, as always.
Glad we could dive in, even if it was a bit heavy.
Until next time, folks, keep those deep dive requests coming.
We'll tackle anything.
Almost anything.
Yeah, almost. Some things are just too scary.
You got that right.